Hello, I'm Manish. I'm Assistant Professor, the Department of Civil Engineering from Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So we are saying the course Infrastructure Development. In that, the topic we are going to see today is about water and sanitation, and we'll see some case study about uh, water and sanitation. So first, the characteristics of water and sanitation are given here. The water and sanitation sector can be considered into three parts or phase below. Okay, so the three parts and phases are given here. So first is about the water harvesting or storage. So how they are going to harvest or store the water, which is going to be used by the urban or rural area, even for an organization as well as social area. So second is water supply, supply using piping and distribution from the reservoir to the consumer. So how the water is going to be supplied even after the harvesting or storage. So that is the main thing. Without it, there is no use of the harvest or storage. So the third is water management and sanitation. So how the water is managed and and the sanitation, how they are doing it. So that there is proper, as we have seen in the previous session, that there is only 35 percentage of sanitation available in India. So that is also a major part in the infrastructure development. So this sector also have a monopoly and economies of scale characteristics. As a result, it is not feasible for several water and sanitation firm to coexist in the same area. So you can see the water and sanitation sectors as some business entities where it is not an easy way of coming into this sector. So the government is will have a difficulty in including another private sector as like for example like telecommunication or some other infrastructure development, civil engineering. So building, we can see many feasible coexisting firms, but in this sector it is very difficult. So that is one of the difficulty. So the continuation, social issues plays a very important uh, role in guiding the policies and the performance of this sector. Okay, so there is a perception that water is a basic human right. So this puts pressure on public agencies to ensure good quality of services, service in this sector. So from this point, we can be aware that uh, this is an important sector. Performance had to be made. As water is a basic human right. Everyone has this thought. So good quality of water determines the quality of that environment, a nation. Okay, so it is a big pressure for the uh, organization or the country to involve huge amount of sum of money or resources involving in water and sanitation. So from that, pricing of water is also a very contingent issues, since it is considered a basic human right. From some quarters, this makes it very difficult to privatize water supply service. So like other sectors, it is very difficult for the government or agencies to put in private sectors, as the price may increase, which will cause a basic human right, you know availability of water. Like if the water price increases, the basic amenities also will increase. There is a comparison even here. For 1 rupee you will get a rice, but you have to pay 2 rupees for a pack of water. So that's a basic comparison for the social issues about the characteristics of water and sanitation. So how India is doing in this water and sanitation sector. Okay, so the first they're giving 50% urban household do not have, have a piped connection. So piped connection is where even for water supply, like uh, government water supply, provided to their houses directly, which is connected to their house. So only 50% we are talking about urban households, not even rural. So 50% urban households do not have piped connection, like water and sanitation. So that means 50% remaining do not have proper water connection to their houses or sanitation. So 44 of household have no sanitation to all. Okay, so this 45, 44 in the sense 44 for urban as well as rural. For all the 44 do not have the sanitation, which increases the amount invested. Okay, so savings cannot be done as if there is improper improper water and sanitation, possibility of diseases which causes you know uh, which reflects the money involved by the poor or middle income people. uh, so this makes a major part in the infrastructure development. And the third is unaccounted for water. So UFW. So water that is lost or stolen during transmission is as high as 25 to 50% of stored water. So there is no proper accountability of water. So you can see 25 to 50%. It is a major thing. So for storage water, it might be stored, or it can be, uh, wasted during transmission. So this is India's view. So and then the fourth one is water is not available all day in most places. So most places, in the sense, 2,80,000 rural people are partially or fully not covered. So uh, this is only about talking about you know, the people, rural people, where the water is unavailable. Okay, so they are to they need to travel a large area, not near the house. For example, like pipe connection. So same goes for another two lakh 17,000 face no, severe quality problem. Even though the water is available, the if there is no quality in water, which causes same difficulty, like diseases of the diseases due to the quality of water. And another 60,000 are exposed to arsenic, etc. So this is how India is doing. So the next is the pricing of water. Okay, so we are still talking about the situation in India. So the price of water is artificially low due to some mentioned in the previous slide. So uh, this affect the profitability of local water board, and therefore the quality of service. So as there is the investment of or the budget allocated for water and sanitation is very less, the uh, manpower allocated by the government is very less, as the investment is very less. So the quality of service will also be less, as the manpower is very less compared to the demand required. Okay, so next is very often the urban and rural poor are not connected to the municipal water supply system. So poor people, as you know as they are, maybe if they are staying in a slum area, or uh, where the pipeline cannot be laid. Okay, so due to that, there won't be any proper connection of municipal water supply system. Okay, so as a result, they often purchase water from water tankers at a rate that are higher than what the average connected citizens pay. Okay, so considering this, poor people are buying water which is at an expensive rate than that of the people who are living in proper city, because as it is properly connected by pipelines, the water is available easily. So they pay water tax easily. The water is available at a frequent manner without spending that much of money. But where in the opposite, the poor, where they don't have money, they have to pay a huge amount comparing to that of the people who are buying water in cities. Okay, the poor therefore pay more for water, so which is a basic amenity or requirement for a human to live. So the water and sanitation scenario in India is in need of considerable improvement. Okay, so policies in the water and sewage sector. So policies that is implemented, uh, maybe we can take that from the 5 year plan given by the Indian government. So the first, the importance of infrastructure uh, is of twofold, which we have seen in this previous sector. So previous topic we have seen that. So the So we have seen this in the previous twofold also. So water and sewage sector, because why we are discussing it again is we are talking about water and sewage sector. So the first is infrastructure is instrument in promoting economical growth. Okay, so water and sewage sector also one of the important sector which gives the importance of the promoting the economical growth. And second is also play and elevating poverty. Okay, so more reforms and policies, this also we have discussed, 10 to 10th 5 year plan and urban reform infrastructure fund. URIF encourage urban bodies to reform, increase operation efficiency and reduce subsidies. Okay, the plan mandates provide water access to urban poor, setting traffic to discourage overuse, introducing water efficiency flushes, etc., providing drinking water to all, increasing community practice and NGO practice, and so on. In return, funding and financial incentives are given to the urban bodies. So from this we can see that URIF, that is Urban Reform Incentive Fund, okay, which gives an you know which provides the performance or the operation in an efficient and reduce subsidies, so that the the amount can be reduced. Okay, the plan mandates provide water access to the urban poor. So this URIF helps to provide access to the urban poor, setting traffics to discourage overuse. So overuse also on disadvantage, or you know which overuse is like a wastage. So that is the optimal use of water has to be educated to the poor. So setting traffics to encourage overuse. So introducing water efficient flush, flush a normal flush when you're using sanitation or toilet. So that water efficient flush has to be used, so that the wastage of water is not there. So providing drinking water to all, that is one of the encourage. Okay, so a reform that given by the URIF. And uh, drinking water to all, increasing community participation, so that the social people are aware of what is the current scenario, so that they can be educated and they may share the ideas. And so that is the increasing community participation and NGO participation. There is the non-government organization participating in this water and sanitation sector, bringing funds from other countries, okay, support our neighboring countries and so on. So the so this is the reform. In return, funding and financial incentives are given to urban bodies. Okay, so urban local bodies are given funding through, it can be a government funding or some other financial sector. Okay, so the improvement can be done in this water and sewage sector. So, AUWSP, that is Accelerated Urban Water Supply Program. So, a government reform program or develop program. So, this program is promoted by the Ministry of Urban Development, that is MOUD, and so it is a separate program developed by MOUD, Ministry of Urban Development, provide funds for providing a water connection to smaller urban cities. So smaller urban cities uh, has to be connected with water, which launched in 1993 to 1994. Indian rupee of 2000 crores was spent by 2001. So this is the program, AUWSP, Accelerated Urban Water Supply Program, to reach out the water, the people who are not who are not having access to proper water. So here, central second is central support for sanitation has also been increased, since many people died due to waterborne diseases. So uh, as the waterborne diseases you know, are spread, due to that more number of people died. So here central government for sanitation also increased. Okay, support from central government. Okay, so that the people are getting proper clean water, uh, the waterborne disease can be prevented. So that is about the scenario in India. So next we'll see about the private public participation case study on Chochambam water privatization. Cochabamba. Okay, so this is a South American country. So I want to bring you this case study done by another research. So just for an example of private parties, private public participation, what goes on in this privatization water project. Okay, so we'll see a few facts about Chochambamba. So it is founded in the 16th century. So it is having 5 lakh inhabitants. So fertile region. It is a fertile region with agriculture economy. So agriculture is an important role in that region. So mild and pleasant weather. So this is some of the few facts in Chochang Bambam. So short, discretion on the quality of service. Okay, the quality of service in the sense, the quality given to the people as water and sanitation. Okay, so first, when evaluating the performance of a water and sanitation system, the following metrics are often considered. So the basic thing, these metrics like minimum requirements are being considered. So here we can see the first is water pressure. So what water pressure, percentage of metered connection, interruption of service, efficiency of billing, efficiency of handling complaints, staffing, UFW, that is unaccounted for water, that is coming under leakage and theft. We also seen that in India, so where 50% loss were there in India. So here percentage of area or residents covered and traffic. So these are some of the metrics that are considered when you're doing a water and sanitation system, the performance of a water sanitation system. So these metrics evaluate the quality of service given under water and sanitation. So, water provision in Bolivia prior to public-private participation. So, uh, centralized public utilities. Example, Sempamba provided water. So, this just for a reference. So, Sepamba is a private organization uh, where centralized public utilities. Okay, so the public sector was given to a private sector, Sepamba, where they are centralized in the water sector. So here private trucks and associated no, providers provided water to water to some areas. So water cooperatives were also in existence. So you can see it was completely privatized. That is a public partner, private public partnership. So here they done in Bolivia, you know. So the quality of water service prior to uh, prior to the project. Okay, prior to the project, that is in Chochambamba. So here we can see it is of 75% urban water supply coverage were there. Uh, 75% water urban water supply and 36 sewer connection, 36 percentage of sewer connection were there for that city. And the third is no, financially status of water providers. Okay, so here it is very poor. So no, finally status of water provider, it is very poor and traffic covered operation cost, but leave no money for investment. So there is the cost were higher, but there is no sufficient money to be invested here as a return for the water service before the project, that is public private partnership project. Okay, given by uh, the private sector. So performance of the Sepamba in Chochambamba. So this is the private sector we were talking about in Bolivia, prior to Cochabamba. So here 4.7 employees per thousand connection. Okay, so that is, you can see the ratio where 4.7 employees per thousand connection, thousand units or houses. So more than twice as inefficient as the global market. Okay, so when you're comparing to another sector or another country, so we can see that there is inefficient in a twice manner. Okay, it is twice inefficient. From this we can see, and only 57% coverage were there. Okay, so coverage in the sense, we have seen the previous metrics, what are all the metrics for a proper water and sanitation project. So it is having only 57% coverage, and here uh, 50% of UFW, no, the water which is being wastage or are coming under theft, which is unaccounted. Okay, so 50% is being wasted due to this. And the next is 5 to 10% illegal connections were given without accountability. So you can see there is no income, 5 to 10% the project will be affected, as well as the proper connection is being wasted. Okay, so due to illegal connection there might be wastage of water, leakage might be there, theft is also coming under that. Because of this, 50% is being wasted. Only a few hour a week of water was provided. So it is coming under, there is no connection to, the water connection is not for 24 hours, only a few hours a week. Okay, one day a week was provided. And over reliance on groundwater among the community. So they were more relying on the groundwater, which is going to cost them twice, where they are to invest an amount to collect the water from the ground, motor, electricity, all are there. So this become unreliable for the water connection provided by the uh, government. So poor pay more money and a greater share of their income. Okay, so you can see, uh, as water has to be harvested from the ground, they have to invest huge amount to get the water that they needed. Okay, so that means poor are trying to pay huge amount, for the water they needed. Okay, so we are seeing about the project which is coming under the company Sepama in Chocha Bamba. So what action did the government take to enable public private partnership? So on 1994, created water regulatory regulation of water. So in 1997, finalized connection award procedure rollout regulator. Proper regulator was provided in 1997, and in 1999, water and service law was passed that are detailed on rights, traffics, etc. So timeline of events in Chochabambam, so which gives an idea of what is going on. So in 1997, concession for the water supply project was suggested. Concession for water supply project, that is irrigation, water and power projects are lumped together. So the project did not take off. Okay, so even the project was suggested, but it didn't take off. In 1998, a concession agreement for the project was floated again. Several parties showed interest. So one party submitted a bid of ADT, that is August del Tunari, okay, a term which is given in uh, Spanish. So bidding process declared null and void. Okay, in 1999, government negotiated directly with ADT and awards them no awarded them the contract. Okay, so the contract was given. The concession agreement which uh, which was which didn't take off is given as an agreement. So the project sponsor, August del Donari, which where they have taken the project concession, concession period of 40 years for the project. Okay, the scope of the project was operation of existing water system in Chochabambam, construction of 240 dollar million projects for power, irrigation, and water supply. So this was the scope. So the traffic set to go up by 35% initially in 1999, and 20% in 2002. So increasing block traffic IBT adopted, so that the wealthier pay more than the poor, nearly twice to thrice as much. Okay, so the no the concession or the consumption taken by the people were categorized. Okay, and a concession were given to the uh, less or the poor people. So service expansion and coverage target was given to ADT that they had to meet. Okay, so a contract, like a contract that has been given. So here exclusively rights were given to ADT, to a private sector. So increasing block traffic, you can see residential category 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have categorized residential category, and fixed charges were taken. Uh, that is 0 to 12 cubic meter no, per dollar, that is $1.8 were given for poor. So variable charges, charging from 13 to 25 cubic meter. So it is of 0.15 per cubic meter. So it was charged like that. That is resident 1, 2, 3, they were charged in a different category. So you can see, as the resident level increased, the charges were increasing for fixed as well as the variable charge were also there. Okay, so a coverage target was given year from 2001 2000 to 2001 to, sorry, so 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2004. So new water connections uh, of 3850, connection, in the sense this is the units that are to be covered. Okay, this is the target set by the government. By 2004 it has to be 57,600. So new sewage connection, so on the second row we can see the sewage connections, uh, which is starting in the year of 2000, it is of 4150, and by 2004 it reaches up to 58,200. So this was the coverage target given to ADT by the government. So what happened next? Widespread protests were there, because of that rating were given, and then the state of emergency declared as more you know protests were there only in that state. And 10th April government retract concession for ADT and gives it back to Sepamba. So you can see the handling of project from one private organization to another. So reason for project failure: economic crisis in Bolivia. Because of that, liberation had not lead to much growth. Only 4.2% GDP growth from 90 to 99% were there. As a result, there was a lot of disillusionment with privatization. So that is the economic crisis in Bolivia. And then next is ideological issues. Okay, the local people were against a foreign firm charging them for water. So you can see they were not having a proper support. The company didn't have proper support. So next is exclusivity was also a concern here, as compensation was not welcomed and some of the water tanks and other providers had to go out of business. So local business were affected due to this project. So traffic under ADT, so average increase was 35 percentage, but only 10 of the traffic increased for the poor. So that you can see the difference. So new traffic made economic senses. Many were left over for operation, expansion, and maintenance. So it didn't. This project didn't accommodate the or didn't reach the target which is set by the government. So the rate of return for ADT was 16 percentage, and so they made a profit, but was this too high? So better quality for supply led to more utilization, led to higher water bills, which the citizens did not like. Okay, so as you have seen, as water is a basic amenity or required by the citizen, you cannot charge more for that. So social issues. So farmers preeminently protested. Rich resident had already built water infrastructure, so therefore didn't want to forgo this and buy water from ADT due to the exclusivity clause. So you can see they were having sufficient funds to raise their own water. So poor people could not get water until they were connected. Well drilled and tankers protested. So no transparency, no consultations, no professional citizen associated were not involved in the planning of this project. So you can see that private company was completely become uh, covered, where they were not transparent with the people, or the project were not going as they expected. Okay, so they demanded cancellation, traffic reduction. The government did not have funds to educate and campaign, and ADT was indifferent to the public. So government problems, there were divisions within the government. So municipal allies were no against privatization. Central government was pro privatization. So SSB, the regulatory, was not an independent regulatory. It did not set traffic. It was forced by the government to go in for the project. So what should have been done differently? So social inclusion and transparency no, did not have fund. ADT did not have the inclination or the projected target. However, stakeholders no, consultation should have been held. So existing water providers and an arrangement should have been uh, integrated in no independent regulatory no, tariff could have been raised by the government before privatization, so as to counter the ideology no, protest exclusive no exclusivity clause could have been rethought. Okay, so these are some of the no difference what they are to be done as in a different manner. So as a conclusion, the project seems to be structured well with the innovation strategies such as increased block traffic, that ensure the poor did not suffer from large traffic increases. you know this had to be one of the conclusion. However, lack of policy, political consensus, social opposition and economic downturn led to the failure of this project. Okay, so from this we can see the project has to go through different stages where it was given directly. Okay, so with this conclusion, we'll close this topic. So thank you.